I'm very excited.
Yeah, baby.
Because just moments from now, John. Moments from now, in that chair. Just moments from now, in that chair, we'll have the one, the only Senator Bernie Sanders sitting right there. That's right. Pretty excited. I'm also excited because we were talking about Steve Bannon a little bit earlier. Y'all can have a seat. And we were talking about Steve Bannon a little bit earlier because they teased a little bit of him this morning on the CBS this morning. Tomorrow morning, there will be more of Charlie Rose's interview, a preview of the 60 Minutes interview this Sunday will be on CBS This Morning tomorrow morning. Check that out. And not only that, but please check out this show a week from Tuesday, the night after I host the Emmys. A week from Monday, I host the Emmys. The very next... No. A week from Sunday, I host the Emmys. A week from Tuesday... Hillary Clinton will be sitting in that seat right there talking about her new book, What Happened? We'll find out what happened. Hopefully we'll find out what happened. Now, for tonight's contender, my first guest is a former Democratic presidential candidate, current independent senator, and raspberry seed in Washington's wisdom tooth. Please welcome Senator Bernie Sanders. Look at that reaction of that crowd. Do you miss it? Do you miss the crowds?
Do I miss it?
Do you miss the crowds at all? Because you became a sex symbol in your 70s.
No, the truth is I get enormous energy, and what sustains me is, in fact, getting out among real people, getting out of Capitol Hill, feeling the love and the desire to do good things in this country. So, yeah, I do.
Well, thank you for being here. You've got a new book. It's called Stephen Colbert's Midnight Confession. I'm sorry. No, I apologize. That is not. You have a new book. Good book, though. You should get that.
This is not a bad book
it's
either.
Called Bernie Sanders' Guide to Political Revolution. All right? This is political powder keg between two covers right here. Light a match, step back, revolution, right?
Yep.
Okay. Somebody else has a book right now. Hillary Clinton does. And that book is called What Happened? And she remembers you from the campaign in the book. I don't know if you're aware of this, but like a reaction to this. Hillary Clinton says that your attacks during the campaign caused lasting damage, making it harder to unify progressives. What is your response to that accusation that you damaged America by damaging Hillary Clinton?
Actually, the case is that the progressive movement today and grassroots activism is stronger than it has been in many, many years. As a result of our campaign, millions of young people began to vote for the first time, became engaged in the political process. We're seeing young people all over this country, working class people, running for office from school board to Congress. So I think there is a level of understanding now among people, and what this book is about, that we have got to stand together against Trump's efforts to divide us up, take on the billionaire class, and make that political revolution so that we have a government that works for all of us, not just the 1%. But Stephen,
I think those are the kind of attacks she was talking about, Bernie.
But I understand. Look, you know, Secretary Clinton ran against the most unpopular candidate in the history of this country, and she lost, and she was upset about it, and I understand that. But our job now is really not to go backwards. It is to go forwards. It is to kind of create the nation that we know that we can become. We have enormous problems facing us, and I think it's a little bit silly to be keeping talking about 2016. We got too many problems. We got this DACA issue, this outrageous effort on Trump's part to throw 800,000 people off of their legal status. We got to deal with climate change. We got to raise the minimum wage. We need to have health care for all of our people as a right.
I agree. I agree.
Those are the issues that we've got to be focusing on.
I agree. I think all of us agree that it's important that we look forward. So let's talk about 2016 one more time, because Hillary Clinton also talks about something called pony promises, that you were promising people ponies, and she would say, where are the ponies going to come from? How are we going to pay for the ponies? Will Washington, agree? Or are you going to regulate the ponies? And you would say, Hillary Clinton hates ponies. Okay, doesn't think that America deserves ponies. What do you make of her accusations that you promised too much and essentially forced her into a position where unless she took the most left-wing view, she would lose the base that you were helping create?
Let's look at what we talked about. What are the promises that I made? I said...
Universal health care.
I said that in America, we should join every other industrialized country and guarantee health care to all people as a right. And there is now growing sentiment for that effort. So that's not a pipe dream. A majority of the American people now believe that the government should make sure that every man, woman, and child has health care as a right, okay? I said that the... I said that the $7.25 minimum wage today is a starvation wage. We've got to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. And right now, Stephen, I have 31 co-sponsors in the United States Senate for that piece of legislation. I said that we need to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, spend $1 trillion to do that, and in doing that, we can create up to 15 million decent-paying jobs. That is now the official position of the Democratic Party. I have said that we have to deal with criminal justice reform so we don't have more people in jail than any other country on earth. Growing consciousness on that issue.
Universal college education.
I said, right.
Free college education.
I said that we need, in a competitive global economy, to make public colleges and universities tuition-free. Well, talk to the governor of the state of New York. He thinks that's a good idea because they already passed that legislation. And other communities are doing it. So the real point is, we broke through a box which said you can't talk about this, you can't talk about income inequality, you can't talk about health care for all, you can't talk about taking on the billionaire class. We did it. We ended up with 13 million votes. I think we helped transform politics in America.
Well, I have next week, just a little over a week from now, I'm going to have Secretary Clinton sitting right there talking about a book. What do you think I should ask her about the accusations? If you were going to respond, if there's a question you'd like to ask her back about these ponies, what might it be?
I think the response is we have got to think going forward, and I would like her to join us in the fight for 15, in a Medicare for all single-payer system, in taking on the fossil fuel industry so that we transform our energy system away from fossil fuel and move to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. So in other words, we need her help to go forward. Let's not keep arguing about 2016. Let's get together, take on Trump's desire to divide us up. Let's go forward with a progressive agenda. Ask her if she'll do that.
Okay, we got to take a little break right here. When we come back, I'm going to try to make Senator Sanders say something nice about Donald Trump. Stick around.